Okay. Okay, guys, so today we are going to cover a new lesson, which is los números en español, the numbers in Spanish. So make sure you write this title. Okay, so here are my numbers from 0 to 10. 0, 10. So I'm going to count these. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is really important for you guys to know these numbers because these are pretty much your base numbers, and you'll see this in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to move on to numbers from 11 to 19. So I have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and pay attention to that accent mark on that E. 17, 18, 19. So when it comes to the number 15, remember that U after Q is silent. So we don't say quince, we have to say quince. So from numbers 11 to 15, I have a little trick here. And what you need to notice is that they all end with C, C-E, C. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. From numbers 16 to 19, they all start with 10, right? You see the 10. So the trick is to think of the number 10 in Spanish, 10, and then you add an I, E, and then the number, the base number. These are your base numbers. So you're going to write 10, 10, E, and then the number. So in the case of number 16, I see 10, and then I drop the Z, and I add a C, the I, and then I add my base number. Same thing for 17. I write 10, but first I need to drop the Z and replace it with a C. There's the I, and then there's the word siete, which is 7. So 17, 17. Same for 18. I write the number 10 in Spanish, 10, E, and then the number. And you need to drop the Z in 10 and replace it with AC. Now, this is a trick to help you write these numbers, the numbers 16 through 19. But as we start using these numbers more and you start seeing them in your work, it'll get easier. Okay, so make sure you write this down, because if you were here in class, we will go through these numbers together and you will repeat the with after me. So let's move on to the next part. Okay, so remember, these are numbers from del 0 al 20. I'm going to read these words again, these numbers again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the numbers from 20 and higher. So I have numbers 21 to 29, 31 to 39, 41 to 49, 91 to 99. And I have two columns. One is labeled trick and the other one is ejemplo. Okay? So I want you guys to write these down, these numbers down too, and draw this table, these two tables. This is going to help us remember on how to make things easier for all of us when it comes to writing numbers from 21 to 99. So when it comes to number 21 to 29, the trick is that you write 20 and plus the number. Okay, again, you go back to your base number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you go back to those base numbers. So if I want to write the number 22, I will write 22. And I'm going to tell you why. First, I want you to see this, okay? But we're going to learn how to write the number 20 on its own. Okay? So for the number, hold on. I'm going to end this show. And this goes here. This is why it's driving me nuts. Okay, so now let's cover numbers 20 to 100. So 20 in Spanish is 20. 30 is 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100. Let's try this again. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So when I was younger, when I was a little girl, and I had to learn my numbers 1 to 100, guess what those two numbers, what are the two numbers that I had difficulties learning? 60 and 70. I always got these two numbers mixed up. So you're learning the language, so that could be a possibility as well. But don't worry, as you practice, it'll get better. So remember that 60 is 60, and 70 is 70. Okay, so now let's move on to writing numbers 21, 22, numbers 35, 41, 59, 78, 63, 94. Okay, let's move on to that. Now, I have this table here, and I want you guys to write this on your notes because this will make your life a lot easier. So remember that 20 in Spanish is 20. It ends with an E. But when I want to write numbers 21 to 29, I have to drop that E and replace it with an I. And then I add my base number. And those base numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So if I want to write number 22, I will write 20 and then the number 2, 22. That's number 22. So for the number 31 to 39, first I need to write 30, which is 30. And then I'm going to add the word E, which in this case is the Y, which means N, A-N-D. So I'm going to write the number 30, E, and then the number. So if I wanted to write 33, I would write 30, y tres. For numbers 41 to 49, same as 30, I get my 40, which is 40, and then I write the word N, y, and then the number. So here's 46, 46. So you're doing the same thing for numbers 50, 50, 60, 70, 80. Same thing, same concept. And we're going to practice in a minute a little bit more with those numbers. So for number 91 through 99, again, 90 in Spanish is 90. And then you're going to put y and then el número, which is your base, the base number from 1 to 9. So here's the number 99. 90 y 9. So this is the trick on writing numbers from 20 to 99. So make sure you have this with you. Okay, so before we do this, I want to practice with this. Okay. So we're going to practice with the number 55. So if I want to write 55, what's 50 in Spanish? I'm going to write 50. And then remember y. And what's 5? Cinco. So that would be 55. So let's try 67. So 60 in Spanish is 60. And then remember your y. And 7 is 7. Now let's try with our 70s. So we're going to try 74. So 70 in Spanish is 70. Y. Remember that y. 4 in Spanish is cuatro. And now one more. 80. 81. So 80 in Spanish is 80. And remember your E. And 1 in Spanish is uno. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so here's matemáticas. Take a wild guess. What do you think matemáticas means? Matemáticas is math, yes. So we're going to do sumas, which is additions, y restas, which is subtractions. And then the equal sign. Equal in Spanish is igual. So write in Spanish in letters. So the example, they're giving you the example, 2 más 2, 2 plus 2, what is it? 4, right? Okay, so you're doing 9 menos 8, o 15 más 2, 2 menos 1, 13 más 28. And just to remind you one more time about this, we're going to write it down. So sumas, and I'm sorry that my handwriting is not, it's great on this. Sumas is additions. Additions. Subtractions. Las restas. Igual means equal. Okay, so más, in the case of math, means plus. Y menos means minus. So that's why when I say dos más dos, 2 plus 2. So your work is 2, and you'll find this in Google Classroom. So you'll have to write the answer of what 2 plus 2 is, which is 4. And then you have to write the letters in Spanish. You have to write this math problem. Dos más dos igual 4. So you got to do the same thing for this. 9 menos 8 is 1. And you'll write the 1 here. And then you'll write 9 menos 8 igual 1. So you got to do 4 of these problems. Okay? All right, guys. So that was our lesson on numbers. Make sure you're taking notes. And we are going to practice more with numbers in a minute.